up, my friends? How are you guys doing? Welcome back. It is time to talk about some movies. Thanks for stopping in today, hanging out with me and talking for just a little bit. Before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button so you can get notified when I post new and interesting content. Guys, today we're going to be talking about a movie from 1988 directed by Mr. John Carl Buechler. This is Cellar Dweller. All right, this stars Yvonne DiCarlo, who y'all may know as, I believe it's Morticia Addams. It's either Morticia Addams or Lily Munster, one of the two. I can't remember, but I think it's Morticia Addams. And it's also got Jeffrey Combs in it, our star B-movie actor of Reanimator and Necronomicon and many other H.P. Lovecraft interpretations that have been printed on the celluloid. Guys, this is something that a buddy of mine, Sean, told me about this movie several years ago. And I wanted to check it out because I had never seen it. When he described it to me, I said, that actually sounds really, really cool. He said, it's got some cool creature effects in it about this monster. And I was like, I dig monster flicks. Who doesn't, right? Especially when the monster's cool looking. Anything from the 80s to the early 90s, the practical effects look awesome. Also, I apologize if you hear background noise. That is my dog chewing on her bone because that seems to be the only time she can chew on it is when I'm filming. So anyway, guys, this is basically a comic book artist meets a fiery end when he's messing with some forces he shouldn't be messing with. Several years later, decades later, a devotee of said comic book artist moves into the house where murder-suicides took place, and we go from there. This is basically, you have the Cellar Dweller, this demonic creature that comes out and just, is basically what, killed the guy, and that's what we're trying to defend ourselves against in this film. Guys, this ain't a great movie. This ain't even a good movie. This is your classic B-movie fare. Not only do we have our legendary B actor, Jeffrey Combs, but it doesn't take itself seriously. A lot of people rate this pretty low. I, on the other hand, I rate it about average because I'm a big fan of 80s horror and these goofy looking, men in rubber suits with terrible looking practical effects. I say terrible, but back then they were beautiful, and they're still beautiful to this day because they're the only special effects that stand up to the test of time. When you make something practical and you put your heart and soul into it, it looks beautiful. So this is, they have this practical effects, this guy in a big suit, he's this monster, he wreaks havoc, and he does all these things. The story's nothing that stands out. It's pretty generic. I mean, it's a cool concept. Comic book artist fiddles with some things, don't need to be doing that. Boom, all of a sudden he's gone. Somebody moves into the house. It's a tale as old as time in the horror genre. But do they do anything different? Do they do anything original? Not really. I mean, I personally just watched it because my buddy had told me about it. Like, I'd asked a few of my other friends, I said, hey guys, what do y'all think about Cellar Dweller? And they're like, oh man, that's a stinker. That's a turd in waiting, you know what I mean? And so that's just, I said, you know what, I'm gonna check it out anyway. And the first time I checked it out, I watched it on YouTube, and it was like one of those terrible, like homemade, I filmed it with my phone type of films, and I was like, this sucks. But then, like I said, I was just, surfing, and I found it, and I said, I'm gonna check this out. And so it's streaming over on Amazon Prime Video and PlutoTV if you want to give it a go. But I got to see it in its full glory and its standard definition and credibility, right? It looked good. The transfer looked nice. It didn't look grainy or homemade looking like the original version that I saw on YouTube. It looked really, the quality was good on MGM+. I wish I could say that the quality of the film was also awesome, but again, the story, you've heard it before. The only cool part of this film, in my personal opinion, the only cool thing that even remotely appealed to me was the monster. The monster, even though he's goofy, he looks like a big orangutan, but with a bear face, and I don't know, almost like an owl bear, but minus the owl beak stuff. If you play D&D, you know what I'm talking about. But it was, you know, the creature was cool looking. I liked the way the creature looked. That's why I gave it 3 stars, because even though it was generic, I say 3 stars, even though I gave it a couple thumbs up, even though it was generic, even though the story I've heard 100 times, even though the acting wasn't great, those special effects to me were appropriately ridiculous and appropriately awesome looking. So I dig it. If you guys want to check out Cellar Dweller, you can find it on MGM Plus and Pluto TV, like I said. Check it out if you want to. If you're a fan of 80s horror movies, definitely give it a go if you've never seen it. If you have seen it, hit me up in the comments and let me know what you think about it. But that's it for Cellar Dweller, guys. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me for just a few minutes talking about movies. If you haven't done it already, hit that like and subscribe button. And guys, I'm going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. I love you guys. Peace out, my friends, and I will see you soon.